Hi, I'm Simon with AppliancePartsPros.com. Today we're going to show you how to repair your appliance. Are you ready? Remember, anytime you work on your appliance, make sure it's unplugged or the circuit breakers are off so there's no chance of electrocution. In this video, we'll show you how to replace the temperature sensor in the Kenmore refrigerator. It's going to be a very easy repair. Should only take a few minutes to show you how to do it. For this job, we're going to need a Phillips screwdriver and a putty knife. When you open up the package, you're going to get a new temperature sensor. This temperature sensor is located in the freezer compartment mounted in the upper right corner of the rear cover. It senses the ambient temperature in the compartment and relays it to the main control board. If the temperature inside the freezer is way off, check the temperature sensor and replace it if needed. To get to the part, we need to open both French doors and pull out the freezer door. Next, I'm going to pull out and remove the freezer drawer, lift up, and take it away. All right, next I'm going to remove this freezer basket. I'm going to push it up here and lift it and lift it out. Now I'm going to remove this right side slide rail cover. We need to press these two tabs out and pull it up. And now I'm going to remove this left side rail cover the same way. I'm going to press on those two tabs from inside and pull up on the cover. Alright, so I'm going to lift off the door from these rails, but I would like to point one thing. You may not get as lucky as I did, and you may have the factory installed screws here, one on each side, which is holding that door to the rail. So if you do have it, then take them out, and most likely it would be Phillips screws. In my case, I'm going to lift off the freezer door and pull it straight out. And now I'm going to push the rails back in, out of the way. Alright, now I'm going to take out two Phillips screws. I'm using a Phillips screwdriver so we can remove this right side upper rail. And I'm going to pull it off the side and pull forward. And now we're going to the bottom one. We have three Phillips screws. I'm using a Phillips screwdriver. Alright, I'm going to pull it over the side and pull it forward. Now on the left side, we're going to take out this top rail. Two screws. I'm using a Phillips screwdriver. And I'm going to peel the rail off the wall and pull it forward. Now we're going to take out this bottom rail. There's three Phillips screws. And I'm going to use the Phillips screwdriver. Now I'm going to peel it off the wall and pull it forward, but don't go too far. We need to disconnect the plug here. Right there. And press this locking tab on the top and disconnect the plug. Now we need to remove this duct cover. I'm going to squeeze the sides here and release the side tabs, and I'm going to pull it back to release the tabs at the front. Now I'm going to start removing this rear access panel. I'm going to use the putty knife and I'm going to insert it here in the seam on the left side. I'm going to push it out
and I'm gonna try to pull it out. Again, I'm gonna help with the putty knife. And grab it and pull it. I'm going to grab the top here through this cutouts and pull the top and lift up so we can release the bottom from the groove. And then slowly we're gonna slide it down. Don't let go of it because it's gonna break the harness behind. All right, so we are disconnecting this plug on the left. There was two blue wires. I'm gonna press down that locking tab and pull out the plug. All right, so I'm gonna slowly put the panel down, and we're going to disconnect the plugs on the left upper corner. First, I'm going to press down this locking tab and pull the upper plug out. Then the bottom one, the tab is on the bottom. And we're going to remove this assembly. Alright, so let's place it here on a workable surface. And I'm going to peel this side of the installation. Be careful, don't tear it apart. Alright, so as long as we can pull this harness through. Alright, and next I'm going to remove the sensor. This is the old temperature sensor next to the new one. If you don't have this part, you can get it from appliancepartspros.com. Well, I'm going to install the temperature sensor into this holder by pushing it in. And then I'm going to run it through this cut. And then I'm going to place down the installation. Don't worry if it's not going to glue perfectly, it's not going to go anywhere. Now we're going to install the cover into the freezer. Now we're back inside the freezer. Not the best place in the world, but we've got to do this. And I'm going to install this evaporator cover assembly back. I'm going to start with plugging in this red and white plugs in the upper left corner. The red plug goes on the bottom, right in there. Then I'm going to place the white plug on the top. Alright, let's bring the panel in. And I'm going to put it down here. Alright, so I'm going to fish out this plug, and then we're going to install it. I'm going to pull up this panel. I'm going to install the bottom right here. And push it down and back. Press it hard. And it should lock. Now I'm going to place the duct cover in place. Put it on and press it down. Now I'm going to install the left side bottom rail. This tab at the back goes right at cut out, and we have a pin here, right there, that goes into this hole. But before, we're going to plug this in. Make sure it's locked, and install the tab at the back. Push it in. I'm going to bring in the rail, press it in, and we're going to secure it with 3 Phillips screws. I'm going to use the Phillips screwdriver for that purpose. Now I'm going to install the upper rail. We see this tab here at the back, which goes into this cutout, and the pin on the front goes into this hole here. So we're gonna slide the tab in. I'm gonna bring in the pin, and I'm gonna secure it with the 2 screws using a Phillips screwdriver. Again, I install this bottom rail. I will show you how it's gonna interlock. We've got here the tab that goes in an opening at the back, and then we have this little pin which goes into opening here. So we are going to place it in, push it in, and put it on. Then we're going to secure it with the 3 Phillips screws. I'm going to use the Phillips screwdriver. We're now going to install the top rail. It interlocks the same way. We have a here tab and this pin. So I'm going to insert the tab with the cutout. Pin goes into this hole. And we're going to secure it with a couple of Phillips screws. Now we need to pull out the rails. Now I'm going to install the freezer door. We're going to place it on these rails. We have 2 hooks, one on each side. We're going to lock it into the rail. Press it down, and then I'm going to lock these tabs in front. Alright, so we're going to install this rail cover back on. 1, 2, 3, 4 tabs goes into 1, 2, 3, 4 cutouts. We've got 1, 2, and 3 large tabs on the top that goes also in this cutouts here. And we have 2 locking tabs. So we're going to do it all in one shot. So we're going to start with placing this on the top. Then I'm going to bring it down and push it down. It locked. Now we're going to install this left side cover the same way that we did on the opposite side. Match the tabs. And press it down. Alright, I'm going to install the freezer basket back. I'm going to lower down this edge under that lip and lower down the front. Now I'm going to install the freezer drawer. It goes in this way, angled. You place it on the rail and put it down and slide it in. Now we can close the doors. Push in the freezer door and close the French doors. Plug the fridge back in and make sure it's cooling. Thank you for being a part of another successful repair brought to you by AppliancePartsPros.com. For any of your future appliance repair projects, please check out our other videos available on our site, on Facebook, on YouTube, and on Instagram.